domestic livelihood, living condition, he has converted that one into electricity, and then after solar panel, in the solar PV also his presence is over there. Okay, and he has carried out many of these activities related to renewable energy. Okay, and the valuation of his company and how he has started the journey. So for that one, I would request Foster to tell that one in more briefly. Before that, I would request the people who have joined bit late, Pooja Kumari and Jimmy Rense, please introduce yourself, and after that, over to Foster. Yeah, Pooja.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Good
Jimmy.
morning to you all. My name is Jimmy Rinjun, and I'm from Tawan.
Yes, Pooja.
Good morning, sir. Welcome, Costa, sir. My name is Pooja Kumari, and I am in MBA third semester now with specialization finance and HR. Thank you.
Yeah, Costa. Welcome to CMS Nerist, and it is all yours. You have 1 hour. Further also, if you wish, you can also extend further.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, and very warm good morning to all of you. And it's really nice, getting back to your roots time and again. And thank you, Sivu sir, for giving me this opportunity. Uh, it's feel great to see young faces. You feel you really relive your past. So thing is that I uh, I won't say that I'm very well prepared with the things, but we'll discuss, my journey, how I have taken up the journey, and how the small things that we learn in those management classes actually help us practically to pivot your business, to take this to the new leap. So I have a presentation with me where it's kind of a. So I'll be sharing my screen, sir. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So basically, today we'll be discussing about the strategic moves and the growth that happen at my.
Costa, can you just rotate your screen? It is. Uh, yes, now it's fine. Yeah, please
Yeah,
continue.
yeah. So it's about the strategic moves and the growth that happens at Ahomurja, and Ahomurja is my startup. So to start with, I am Kaustav. Sir has already introduced me a bit, and I'm here today to get in touch with you guys and get back to my alma mater time and again. So I love doing that, and so let's begin. To start with, let's discuss about a bit about myself and about my startup. So yes, this is me.
Sorry,
I
sir.
did
Sorry
my.
for interrupt, sir. Sir, screen is
Yeah.
not visible, sir. Screen is not visible, sir.
It's not coming.
Yes, sir.
It's visual. What about others? It's quite visible to
Sir,
me.
Sir, it's
yes,
visible,
sir,
sir.
visible
Maybe
to
network
us.
Yes,
some
sir,
network
visible.
issues.
Hello.
Is it visible now?
हाँ
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हमने क्लास का हाँ हाँ
Anyway, like you can listen to it like a story, because anything I'm not reading it from the slide. I will tell you the story only.
Yeah, Kaustav, actually, we are planning to make it a YouTube video of this one. Kankan will be preparing for
Okay.
that one. If somebody is
Okay.
having the network issue, no issue, you just listen to this one, and after that, it will be available to you in the YouTube. Yeah, please carry forward.
Yeah, that will be great then. Yeah. So as I said, like I did my master's in environmental sciences from Teshwa University, and after that I did my MBA from NERIST. So since 2017, I'm in the profession of entrepreneurship. This is by choice, not by compulsion. I love doing this. So this is a brief about the company that I'll be talking about. This is my first venture in life. That is, we call it Ahom Urja. So what is Ahom Urja? It's a clean tech organization working in the field of renewable energy, particularly in solar. And we have a combined installation capacity of more than 500 kilowatt with an annual turnover of more than 3 CR. So what happened is that this organization, Ahom Urja, it has been recognized as one of the smartest startup by IIM Kolkata and DST, Government of Assam, in 2018 for a product that we have built up. We call it Firelight, and it converts, fire into electricity. It's based upon the thermoelectric effect. One guy from science and physics and from this one engineering will know. This is kind of a Peltier effect that we use, and we have converted fire, the heat of that fire, into electricity. So for that, there was a contest all over India, and there were participants from outside also. At that event, we are the only person from entire Eastern India, only startup from entire Eastern India, and we have been mentored by IMCI, CIP, that is Indian Institute of Sciences, Kolkata, for development of this venture. So currently what we are doing, we are working closely with management of Kaziranga National Park, Nameri National Park, and Orang National Park for creating energy efficient and energy independent wildlife management system. So we are working with forest officials to give them solution for their wildlife protection needs through solar. We are also working closely with various private and government agencies for better adaptation of clean and green energy in different parts of Northeast India, including Neris. We are I'm very privileged that Sivu sir has given me this opportunity, and we work at Neris for a solar power plant. So today what we will be discussing is like scenario planning. It's a part of the strategic management. And just to start off, any Bahubali fan in this group? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you just guess
Yes,
what is
sir.
this? What is it?
Sir, this is the picture from Bahubali 1, I think.
Yeah. And what's going on there?
They're
They are
planning a war
planning for
against.
the war.
Yeah, they're planning for the war. So this is what the strategic management is all about. You have to plan things. You have to make strategy for each and every threat, each and every opportunity, for each and every external factors that affects your organization. So here they're preparing for a war. They will have different scenarios planned, and they will define how they are going to retaliate and win the battle. So this is all simple as that. Like in a startup, when you run a business, or even you're in day-to-day life, you have external factors. Sometimes they are controllable, sometimes they are not. But you have to fight with them and win that situation. So that is all about the strategic, management. So suppose this is your organization. This is a small organization. Suppose this is Ahom Urja. I'm talking about my own venture. So suppose this is Ahom Urja. We are working in solar domain very nicely, at our own comfort. But every time, sometimes there will be a political change. There will be a political change, maybe at state level or center level. They will come out with different kind of policies, which will affect positively or negatively to my business. So I have to make strategies to overcome those issues. Similarly, there will be economical things. Suppose there is a recession, and I'll tell you an example about this economical thing. When we started initially, there was just after like 2 or 3 months, there was notebandi, the note ban. So the cash market has gone out from the market, and that have adversely affect us in our business to actually stand. So those economical issues also, induce positive or negative effects on your business, which you cannot actually control directly. Similarly, social. Now, see, when you talk about coal and any hydrocarbon, people slowly they are getting irritated with that because of the global warming. People are currently now they're understanding that you know green is the new green is the future. So people are adopting solar, maybe at small scale, but still they are adopting. So that's a social change coming in, which is positive for our business. Even that also we cannot handle, we cannot control directly, but it has an effect on your organization. Now there is technological changes. Every time if you see the when those old ambassador cars which are running in streets of India, they give a mileage of 10 kilometer per liter. Now cars like good efficient cars they run at least like 20-22 kilometers per liter. So it's double the leap with time. So technology improves. Now EV is coming. So people are slowly moving from dependency on fossil fuel to electric. Once electric moves in a better pace, we have a very good chance of getting into the recharging station. As an organization, we get the chance. So these are external factors that affects your organization. Now, within your organization, there is a one thing called SWOT, SWOT. Full form, anyone?
Sir, strength, weakness,
Strength,
opportunity,
weakness,
and threat.
opportunity, threat.
Yeah. So this thing is within your organization, right? We know our strength, we know what our weakness is, where is the opportunity, and what are the threats. So when you analyze your external factors, considering your own strength, weakness, and opportunity and threat, then you can predict many things beforehand, and you can make yourself prepared to take the challenge and win that particular event. There will be different scenarios that you can create just by sitting at your boardroom. You can predict that if social change is happening, then if people are adapting solar, people are adapting green energy. So let's focus on this particular front. But there may be some threats. So it's a permutation competition of combination of external factors vis-a-vis your internal SWOT, and you create different situation to win that particular thing, or to beat that particular external, suppress the external factor for your towards your benefit. So how this scenario actually help us as an organization to grow? So before that, you just need to understand what we were when we started. So in past, we are dealing with small solar products. So these are like there will be a small battery, a small solar panel, and DC lights and DC fan. These are small things. When we started in 2017, we didn't have much money. So our turnover was also small. That was 10 lakhs, and we just have 2 employees with us. So that continues till 2018. And then we realized that we need to have a leap. We need to jump from here onwards. So then just last year, like 2020-21, we have a range from that existing the solar small DC products to solar power plants. Those are big plants. This is one plant that we have established in Guwahati, one of the colleges in Guwahati. So these are big plants. So how things happen? We actually preempted what is going to happen in days to come, and we adapt to that particular technology. We adapt to that particular situation at least 6 to 7 months prior to when these things happen. So what happened then? You get a better growth. So our turnover increases from 10 lakhs to 3 crore. Our strength of the employees went up from 2 to 10. So slowly things are improving. And mind me, this is a continuous process. In every I would say every time whenever you feel there is some changes happening, there is going to change which can affect your organization, you just sit down and work it out. And my like I'll be very candid to tell you one thing. Even this is true for your own self. Suppose you'll be passing out in a couple of months from now, you will be going to the job market. So if you visualize yourself that as a scenario and put yourself to different points, you would see what are the skills that you actually need to acquire within this 6 to 9 months time to win that particular interview or win that battle or get that job from with respect to others. So these are actually practical things that you should actually work upon every time. So there is a process to it. Actually, how we have done it, I'll tell you with examples. So first of all, you have to know yourself. Knowing yourself with respect to organization is that knowing the product or the service that you are providing, where actually it exists in its product or service life cycle. Suppose we are selling DC solar lights. I've shown you those small lights. So we realize that DC solar products are actually going down. If you see, they have come down from their peak. So this is not the future. So we realizing that after realizing yourself, you need to realize your stakeholders, like who are our stakeholders, to whom we are selling. At that point of time, we are selling it to customers. They can be retail customers. We have segmented them into two, that is forest department and others. I will tell you why we have segmented that. Retail customers are like, can be anyone, that can be government institutes also, except forest department, anyone, any retail customers, any walk-in customers, anyone can be our retail and forest. We have segmented in two ways. Then knowing your external factors, this is very important. Suppose I've told you there are 4 factors which actually affects your this one external factor that affects your like business. First can be political. Now see, once in 2014, this when Modi came into power, he pushed very much solar. So solar was growing, and that is why actually we ventured into solar. But during his later phase in 2019, when he came back, so he tried to move away from these DC small solar projects, small solar lights, to huge solar projects. So that intensity, intention was being read by us at least a few months before than our competitor, at least few competitors from Northeast. So we got that he is actually pushing this solar for good. Now, economical front, GST has been cut down to 5%. Initially, it was 28%, then it was cut down to 18%. And for better adaptation of solar, government has cut down GST rate to 5%. So that was good for us because price will be lesser. People will have more, people will easily adapt to that pricing. So that's one economical point. Secondly, due to raise in the coal prices, the normal electricity tariff has gone up by 10%, 20% in different parts of Northeast. So we found that if this tariff goes up in this way, we'll have a better chance of converting people to solar. So it's a positive sign for us. Social, now people are getting more concerned about green energy. They're more concerned about climate change. So they need clean fuel to burn. So we have a chance there. So social acceptation is there for solar. Now technology, these all 3 points which I've told, the external factors, are positive towards us. But technology has gone to more effective hybrid and grid type system. These are more efficient system. I will not go in details to that because many of you may not understand what is that. So just for simplification, try to understand that if the efficiency of the if this DC products what we were selling at that point of time, if it has an efficiency of 20%, the new technology will give you at least 80% efficiency. So you will have bigger units. You can add on bigger units. You can generate more energy. People will be independent of normal lights, normal electricity, that grid electricity. So technology is improving, but we are not at that phase. We are still with the backward technology. So we have decided that we need to shift from this DC system to AC system, to new technologies. So that has been decided. Now, how we have decided, we did SWOT. So what are our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities, and our threats? Now we have seen in most of the cases, we have got opportunity with our strength. If we adopt to new technology, we will get better growth. But in case of forest department, they still prefers to go with DC system because of an NGT order, National Green Tribunal. They have given them a order that AC line cannot be drawn within a national park. So that's why I said, like, we have segmented them in two different categories. So we know we have got expertise on DC solar system. We have a client where we can pitch in, that is Forest Department. And we are still doing DC solar projects with them. As I said, like, we are one of the prominent player in Northeast, where we are dealing with many national parks, giving advisories to many national parks now for their forest management system using DC solar power. But for rest of the people or the rest of our customer, we are mostly focused on the AC system. So that comes once you get your external factors analyzed vis-a-vis your SWOT, your own strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, you get a result. That is called organizational learning. So you learn from there. You learn, then you try to make a strategy, because the learning is good at your level, that you learn it there, but implementing the thing on the ground is most important. I very recently, this time we have done very good in Olympics, right? So somebody was telling one thing. The skill is something different. You can polish it if you have it, but implementing those skills on the field, on the ground, was the most important thing. Training, suppose Sibu sir is taking your classes, he will give you hundreds and hundreds of tips here and there. He will let you know how to deal with this situation. But learning that thing from him and actually implementing that on the field will give you the results. So once you have that organizational learning, then you have to make that strategy formulation. So what strategy we formulated? The forest department, we will go with DC solar products, and for others, we will go to new technologies. So we have implemented that, and then you have to repeat the system again and again and again and again, because every single day your external situations are changing. There will be new competitor coming in, there is new technology coming in, there is new political party getting into power, there are new social changes happening in the society. So once you verify, once you get your results, you verify with your expected results that what we want to achieve. We want to achieve growth. We want to achieve growth in a very small span of time. So till now, we are happy that we have implemented what we have done it through this process of scenario planning. We plan those scenarios. We try to figure out that thing in advance, and then we implement those things on the ground to get a decent level of growth. So I think this is a process. This is very practical actually, and anyone can. You can imagine yourself sitting in a war room. You have war situation. You have to win that war. So tomorrow, before going to the battle, you need to plan it. You need to strategize it to win that battle. That can be, simple as running an organization. That can be simply passing a test. That can be simply even proposing your girlfriend and getting a yes from her. So that's simple. So all of you, if you make a habit of analyzing your situation, your external factors, internal factors, it become a habit. If it becomes a habit, it will be good it will be easier for you to compete with the rest of the world in practicality. So with this, I'll conclude. Thank you. I'm open for questions.
Yes. Now it's open for question and answer, please. You can put forward question not only related to scenario planning, about his journey also. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello. Sir, when you passed
Yes.
from MBA,
Yeah.
then you didn't search for a job, or you directly start the startup?
No. I searched for a job, and believe me, it is advisable to go and actually start doing your like, that depends, like, if you want to start your journey as an entrepreneurship just after passing, you can do that as well. But my advice is that if you first go into into corporates, you learn many things. because in classrooms, those whatever you learn, those are not practical things. Those are mostly theoretical concepts that you get. But once you get into an organization, you know what is PF. Like, I don't know if anyone from HR. You will learn what is the percentage of HR that you need to cut. But there is an actual human resource management system. Once you join as an employee, you need to log in there. You have to log in every single day. How your attendance comes into picture. So then salary part, processing, how those things happen, sales part, what are CRMs, all those things. Actually, when you actually work with your hand, then you get an idea about it. Maybe for 6 months, maybe for 1 year, but those experiences are actually those experiences actually comes very handy when you start off your own. So I joined a job, although like I wanted to start something very moment when I passed from my MSc, but it was still there when it was I was there in MBA. But I started off after getting some like corporate experience, so that was helpful for me. But that is again perspective. It may vary for you.
Sir, and this DC.
Costa, please turn on your video, please.
Yeah.
Yes, Chinmay, you were asking something.
So,
Hello, Chinmay, you are not audible. You are in mute actually.
Yes, Chinmay.
sir, am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah.
now. Chinmay, you are not audible.
So
Okay,
we can
we'll
come back to Chinmay after. Yeah.
Yes, some other person may put forward the question.
Hello, sir. Thank you for the presentation. It was an informative presentation. So my question to you is that if in a startup, if a startup wants to reach the normal people, so if you go to organization, there are some procedures to follow for like to get contract and all, but to reach normal people, so how do you how did you process to reach the normal people, and how to convince them to move to the solar things, to the solar environment?
Okay.
So
This is very interesting actually. Yeah. Yeah. Continue.
oh, you can answer, sir.
Okay. So thing is that like when we started, at that point of time, solar was not very was not the thing in the market. People are not very much willing to go to this particular domain because this is a high value ticket product. This comes with an expense, right? And you cannot compare that thing with the normal electricity that we are getting at 4.10 or 4.5 rupees per kilowatt. Solar was expensive then. So we try to find out pockets which is feasible for us. Suppose initially, like the very onset of our business, we try to target petrol pumps. Why? Because IOCL, Indian Oil, BPCL, HPCL, everyone is giving subsidy to their petrol pumps to get them solarized. So identify our market. That is very important. And there are huge scope in that thing. We have seen that. So we started off getting into petrol pumps. There are days like, we go from our home for 10, 20 days on a car and visit all the petrol pumps on the way. Once we come back, then we try to call them up to get some leads. Out of 100, 10 converts, and those 10s will give you more, you know, what do you call, clients. So these are chain system, but importantly, hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir, you are audible, sir.
yeah. But importantly, you need to find out your target segment. My target segment is not anyone who goes into vegetable market and buy a product, right? My target segment is someone who has money to invest on a clean technology with some benefits, because petrol pumps are getting subsidy from Indian Oil or BPCL or HPCL, so they are willing to go for solar because they will get some subsidy on that. Plus they will have they can reduce their electricity bill. Plus they will have 24-hour electricity because they don't have to depend on grid. So any point of time, if you want to do a business, you first of all need to understand who are your target customers. You have to target them only. Once we are done with them, then we slowly goes into government, because why? Government needs credential. You have to have some credentials to get a government contract. Once we have the credentials, we went to government. Once we have settled up with one department, we went to another department. So slowly these things are moving.
So, sir, in northeastern states, we know in the west, for on-grid system, they give some subsidy to the customers. And in northeastern states, it's in Assam, I think some subsidy is given by the government, but in the other states, I don't know much. But it's not equals to that in the west states of the country. So. Is it difficult? And in off-grid system also, the maintenance cost is very high. So sir, how to deal with these kind of things? So you cannot you cannot explain the customers that after 5 or 10 years then you have to pay a huge amount for maintenance. So at first that gives a negative impact, I think. So how to deal with that?
See, you cannot show the negativity to customers, and at the same time, you cannot tell him a lie. So if you think he is a genuine buyer, then only you approach him. Initially, even we made many mistakes. We went to so far to meet customers, then then analyze him with all those, because solar is a techno commercial thing. There will be technology involved in that. There is commerce involved in that. So once you can justify the price that he's paying vis-a-vis the service that he is getting, and if he is genuinely interested in buying solar, then it is worth investing in that. So that's why again I can tell you, you have to identify the segment that you will be approaching. Now, we didn't go to anyone else. We went to resorts where there is no electricity. Suppose if a resort is setting up near Nameri National Park, we did few resorts in Nameri National Park and few in few near Manas National Park. So there, to get electricity to your resort, you need to first establish one transformer that will cost you around 10 to 12 lakhs. On that very price, you can get free electricity. Even if at a lesser price, you can get free electricity at least for 5 years, because your battery comes with 5 years warranty, right? And if you maintain it well, it will go at least for 6-7 years. That depends. Come on, I'm telling you, I'm giving you 5 years warranty on battery. But you are getting that thing without having transformer, without giving any bribe, without going to ACB, without draining your energy on all those unnecessary things. Concentrate on your business. We will take care of your energy need. We got those deals. It's that, like, you have to show them what is this is. There is a word called empathy. This is very important for all of us who are going to go for sales. You have to empathetic to your customers. You cannot tell him what you need. You have to understand what he needs, and you have to deliver it through your products or services.
Okay, in the meantime, let us see one of his video that has been uploaded by NDTV. Just a second. Yeah, Costa, please continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, students, you can put
So
forward
that was
questions.
like from the Smart 50, that contest that we
Yes.
won. That was like, I was just looking at it. I was pretty thin that point of time. I put on very much weight as of late. So thank you, sir, for getting that thing presented here. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, but afterward you turn to top 20 also in the
Yeah, we went to
subsequent
top 20.
pages.
Yeah. So that was like Smart 50 startup. So there were 10 startups from abroad, 40 startups from India, and we did finished up in top 20. So there were no ranks, just need to qualify till top 20. That's it. So we did it, and pretty happy with that. And it was so happened, they gave us funding, they gave us mentorship, and that have actually boosted the entire thing, because you need fund to start off something else. And at that point of time, like as I told you, like our sales was around 15 lakhs, and how much profit you make, like 10%, you make like 1.5 lakhs a year, which is like nothing. You have more expenses than what you earn. So once we get that fund from them and the mentorship, the strategic thing that we discuss, those things actually, those things we studied it in MBA, but I forgot. That's why I'm telling you, if you don't have a habit of making those decisive things, taking decisions, and all those things within yourself, if it doesn't comes from within yourself, you cannot make strategic decision. So there we actually push into in IIMs and all those things. Those are I cannot tell you, like the pressure that you feel, it's immense. Like we starts our day at 6:30 in the morning, and it goes up to 11:30 at night, and then again you have assignments that you need to submit before 6 o'clock in the morning. So your brains become differently wired. So
So what is your valuation at present by some, is there any MNC or any consulting firm that has value to your organization, and if so, then what is the amount for that?
Yeah, we recently tried to pick up funds from Wheelgrow. There's an organization. So we are looking for equity investment. So our valuation currently stands at around 22 million, and we want to raise around 10% of it, so 2.5, so around 15 CR will be invested. But we are still looking up other options as well because it seems to be in a higher side for us. But frankly speaking, sir, these valuations are actually nothing. You escalate, like you multiply your current sales with proposed market, because market is going to expand exponentially, so you get then leverage in that. For me, what matters the most is that you should have good turnover and you should have very healthy margin. We are operating at around 20% margin in most of the cases. 20% margin seems to be very healthy in solar division because it's a high value ticket business. So we have done it again by sitting together, managing things, doing strategies. Sometimes we even work at 5% margins. In next project, we take more than 35%. So wherever we can push our margins, we push it higher. Where we have to leave, we leave it. So that way you make the final growth.
Yes, any other question? Likha Taram Chera Rana, please go.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. In future, will you change your segment market to common people?
I didn't get it. When I?
In future, will you change your market segment to common people?
See,
yes.
Yeah, so thing is that like our strategy would be like going into masses, but that will only happen when governments gives us those schemes to normal people, to common people. Suppose those things have happened in Guwahati. Guwahati, we are doing small 2 kilowatt, 4 kilowatt projects because right now grid tie system is being accepted. Like the project has been started by agencies at Guwahati. So slowly, for grid tie systems, you need to have very strong grid system in your area. Your your electricity should not drop because with that your solar system also cuts off. So in Guwahati, it has started. Slowly, other places are also adapting. Like in Manipur, there are projects going on. Mizoram, they have also started off their thing. So I think slowly once this is a very big market. Now, let me tell you, Adani Power recently has got a tender in APDCL, it is Assam Power Corporation Limited. And that was for around, I think 30 crores or something. So to compete with them, we need to have skills. We have to improve our skills. At the same time, we have to have good bank balance. So that is why we are looking for investment right now. So these are the strategies that we need to make. We cannot like immediately jump into one segment from another. Something that we are doing, hopefully in days to come, we can also come into a broader sphere of customer base.
Okay. So, Chera Rana.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please go.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
So, I wanted to know, there are many different companies who are in this segment, in the solar segment. But what is the specialty in about your product? That is what is special about your product?
The thing is that I would say we don't have any specialty with our products because we mostly give services, not the product. We take up products from others. Yeah, we will take panels from someone, we'll take batteries from someone, we'll take inverters from someone, we take wires from someone, and we give the final product, which is the solar power system. That will look all the same, that will work all the same. But thing is that how you get that project and how you maintain that project, how you maintain relation with the client gives you that edge. Now, most of the customers with whom we are working, we are getting some kind of a referral from them or other. Now, first advantage is that we are from Northeast. So we have that edge on others to say that we have a team sitting at Guwahati. We have a team sitting at Tejpur. So we have a team sitting at Borpeta for Lower Assam. So thing is that those are edge over the service, not the product, because product we are not making in Ahom Urja.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Hasna.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Pastor sir. It was really wonderful. And my question is how your strategies were different from your other competitors, which makes you get this project from the forest department.
Okay, this is very interesting. Thing is that, see, we know our strength, right? We have been working on DC solar products for almost 2.5 years then. And secondly, I worked. I was since my graduation, I have started working with different organizations like RN, WWF. So I have connections in forest departments. So that is the strength that I bring into my organization, right? So I know that. So thirdly, they cannot go on AC systems because of that NGT order. So we have that opportunity there. And threat is that it is very risky to work on inside a national park, right? Like we have issues, like there are security concerns there. Like you have to, you're working somewhere and all of a sudden you will see a rhino coming towards you. So those things happen. So what we did is that we ensure each and every worker that works with us. So immediately, many good, skilled workers, they join us from other, organizations. I don't want to name it, but that's how you make the differentiation. The small thing, there's a small thing, like it doesn't cost us much. Even government gives it for free, or 12 rupees or 13 rupees, something of that sort. We just channelize them through us, so that they get something, they get a sense of security, and immediately their performance increases. So the projects which initially were taken up like 1 month, 2 months, we are starting we have started finishing them up within 15 to 20 days. So from one national park, that goes up to next national park. That these people are actually good at work. So slowly we are getting others.
Okay, any other questions? Pooja.
Yes, sir. Sir, as you mentioned before that you did many mistakes, sir, would you like to share some of the mistakes or things which you would not like us to do if we think of startup?
So it's very difficult. Like why I'm saying, see, each and every one of us are different, right? The way I think and the way you will think will be different. That comes with experience, that comes with the person you are. But few things that which can be defined is that never be complacent, and you start only if you want to start. It's not because today this is the thing going on. It's cool to start up. Let me tell you, it is not cool to start up. It's very difficult, to start up actually. Now you may feel that government is giving seed funding of 25 lakhs. Like you can have your life, valuation in millions, have good life, a car and a settled life. But let me tell you, the difference between me and Sibu sir is that every month at 30th or 1st of the month he gets some SMS. I don't get that, right? So life is different, but he is enjoying his life the way he wants to be. I'm enjoying my life the way I want it to be. So my humble request to all of you is that don't go with the the notion of coolness in startup or something of that sort. If you think that is what you want to do, that is what you want to pursue, you do that only. Like, because it is time consuming, you know, and also it will kill your career. Right now, I cannot come back to, go back and work for some company. That won't be feasible for me, because my mentality, my work culture, everything has changed. So first of all, be decisive, and secondly, never be complacent. And I think thirdly, one mistake I did, but I rectified it very,
Yes. Any other
very.
questions? Yes, Tagita sir. Jimmy. Jimmy Vincent, please put forward your question. Unmute and ask your question.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, Jimmy.
Sir, my question to you is that if government provides some subsidies so that you can catch to the common people, do you think they will accept this solar as an alternative to the current electricity that where they have to pay the high bill and all?
Yeah, that is actually happening. It is very much visible in states like Delhi, where subsidy amount is good. Plus, there is a net metering. That's a concept coming in, that amount that you generate from your terrace, that the unused amount of electricity goes back to the grid, and government gives you give you back the amount that you have delivered to the grid. So it's kind of a net. Your meter is netted. Those concepts are there. So I think slowly it will come to this part of the world as well. So obviously, see, subsidy means government wants to incentivize you to go for a particular technology, or go for these are for early adaptation. If you're not adapting to this technology, and fossil fuel rates are going up, so government feels that they're losing money on importing those products. So it's better to give people the subsidy so that they adapt it. So slowly, once this adaptation takes place, the technology improves. Along with that, your facilities improve, and slowly people used to, adapt to those situations, adapt to those products and services.
Okay. How about your HR policy? How you means? I have seen you are being very friendly with your workers, and you never act like a promoter or owner of that particular company. But can you maintain that particular thing once your organization grows up?
That's a very, very important thing. See, for a company of our size, we call ourselves a startup. So what happens here? The I read it somewhere. Actually, mentality of a founder is not the owner. You, like, anyone from the company can get the credit, but at the end of the day, the company should grow. So now, like, I'm very friendly with my people because I know them very personally. It's a very small group of people, 20 people that we are having. Slowly, once this organization grows, we need to have proper policies. Now, Ratan Tata don't know, like, their employees by name, but his empathy is always with them. So, I want to make a company of that sort. I will tell you a story, sir. When this Corona first wave hits, so it hit us very badly. Now, those people, they're in complete uncertain terms. Like, even we are uncertain about our future. Like, I don't know, like, whether we will be able to come back to the market or. But even at that point of time, just to give them security, we have given them each a 25 rupees grant, that at least you manage your things at your home. Don't worry, we'll be there. That small bit of gesture, you get it back in many sense from them. They are more dedicated towards you. Even at one call, they can go and service a particular thing. So we also dream to have a company where people will discuss in MBA classes.
Yes, Mukesh. Mukesh, do you have any questions?
Sir, no questions, sir.
Okay, Rajat.
Yes, sir. So my question is what do you think which field will be profitable and helpful for people at this present scenario to do startup?
I didn't get your question properly.
Like, so what do you think which field will be more profitable and helpful for people to do startup at this present scenario?
Which field you are asking?
Like I'm asking to you, like which field will be more profitable and helpful for others?
Okay.
Like,
So that entirely depends on you. See, it's a $1 million question. Now, if I would have know that thing, I would have started that thing from tomorrow itself. It's all perspective. You have to study that, like, and you do need to have a skill to get into that particular domain. Like for me, I cannot start a something in food tech or something in fintech where I don't have that expertise. Or if I want to start something in that thing, I need to develop that expertise. So field and this thing, if I talk, if I have to see in Northeast, I think you have all the scopes. Like there is not a single unicorn coming out of Northeast. Scopes were immense. Even social sector is a field where you can do a lot. We have recently started a social startup as well called Indie Love. And so yeah, there are scopes in all the aspects. It's all depends on the skills that you have.
Okay, is there any plan that now EV is going to be next buzzword? So do you have any plan like for the repairing center or any other these sort of things? Because you can settle at one place and continuous flow of money can happen. Do you have any such plan?
We have a plan actually, to be very honest. We already have few petrol pumps where we have set up our solar power plants. So we have a good connection with them. Now what we recently heard is that most of the petrol pumps will have a solar charging station as well for EVs. So as we have good connection with them, it will be easier for us to convert or extend their existing system for EV systems. So it will be more towards
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so that initially to get into those domain, you need to have expertise to get that. Repairing would be difficult for us because we are not expertise on the electric motors and all. We can only handle the battery part, and which easily they can swipe it. So there are companies who are actually doing battery swiping and the maintenance part. So we don't want to get into that domain. We'll be fixing ourselves because we are more of a project-based company. So we'll keep ourselves in our league.
But IOCL or NHPC, they do have the plan to implement renewable based energy like solar PV or something. What is your view in that regard? Is it just to reduce the carbon cost, or they are really getting into this renewable energy?
See, at the end of the day, they have to get into the renewable energy because we are binded with that convention in Paris. So we have to cut down our emissions. That is a notion that normally comes to the mind. But more importantly, just imagine now today the US, this crude oil is trading at $25 per barrel. And as per JP Morgan Chase, in 6 to 7 months, it will go up to $100 per month. Even at $25 per barrel, we are paying 100 rupees a liter of petrol. Consider when it goes up to 100, we'll pay almost like 300-400 rupees per liter. So anyway, people will stop using the cars and they have to move to other resources. So obviously, EV will be the future. It all depends like how fast people can adapt to it, and it's a vicious cycle. You need to have service charging station in order to people get adapted to it. Again, people need to adapt to it so that those charging station sustains. So I think government push is there. I think they are serious about this. IOCL, ONGC, HPCL, they're actually seriously doing it. Even many projects done by NHPC is running, NTPC is running in losses, but still they are sustaining it.
So, but in this fluctuating climate, do you think that solar PV would be continuing, would be able to sustain throughout the year?
You're talking about the climate, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that is the reason why you get better subsidy in the areas where the solar irradiation is less. In Northeast, for every project, if you see the grid tied or off-grid system, they have a higher cap than the rest of the country. Suppose a solar power plant is 20% effective in Western India, would be 10% or 15% effective in our area. So you need to increase the number of panels here vis-a-vis there. But here you will get more subsidy to get that thing done. So it is almost the same, almost the same way. Yeah.
So means we have to keep more in the buffer stock so that we can accommodate the thing in the future, because fluctuating climate. And is there any, apart from this solar PV, do you find any other thing which would be a complementary, like wind energy? How do you look into this?
Wind energy is actually a great thing, but we are not expertise in that particular domain. And secondly, wind energy is not prevalent in all the areas in Northeast India. But what we are actually trying, we have been trying it for quite long. We are not able to focus it much. We are working on a model. I think I discussed this thing on a floating turbine. It's small turbines which floats on the floating rivers, which can produce around 5 to 10 kilowatts of energy 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. So I think we imagine a world where we can float all those what do you call floating turbines on river Brahmaputra, and just imagine the entire Guwahati city is running on the energy generated from that. You don't need to depend on solar. You don't need to depend, because the river is continuously flowing. If there is flood, it is floating, so it will come up. If it is going, the river water is going down, level is going down, then it will come down. So I think we have a venture there. Maybe sometime like we'll take it up seriously, and we'll have something. We have a prototype, but still it's in a very early stage now.
But I'm not asking as your own individual planning for this renewable, other sources of renewable energy. But what about other farms? Do you think that they will also enter into?
Yes, absolutely. Because now a trend is into the hybrid models. If you don't depend on, suppose as you said, like solar power is not enough here. If you combine it with a wind turbine along with that, that can complement. Suppose there is wind, you will get complementary things. So those things are prevailing. Those things are actually been adopted. I think any renewable source of energy, even tide energy, is now been tried in Goa. So slowly things will come up, because you cannot sustain on fossil fuel. So you have to move. Yeah. And I think it will be more hybrid than depending on a simple on one technology.
Okay. Standalone will not be the future. It will
the
be
future,
hybrid.
Yeah.
Let it be conventional with one source of renewable energy, or renewable 1, renewable 2, renewable 3. That can also.
Yes.
So, and IOCL, they do have also solar PV panels over there as per the guideline of IOCL. So how do you collaborate with those things? Because they have their own setup. So why not they will expanding that one instead of depending on one startup?
So thing is that no, there are two aspects to it. Either we are basically provide the service. So anyhow, IOCL people will somehow they will outsource the installation part. So even if we are not supplying the products, we can install it and get the AMC from them.
Because you are not over there for the AMC part or operationalized part. You are only, your job is to get installed, and then the job is up to the
We
IOCL.
can for IOCL we can go install it and take the AMC. Because that we can do. Yeah.
So if no other questions, then we can close the session over here.
Sir?
Sir,
Yes.
Sir, can we replace hydropower or thermal coal in solar energy in future?
Yeah, it has to be actually. There is no way out. We don't have to replace it.
Engineering student, na?
We don't have to replace it. Slowly, the situation will compel us to replace the thing. Imagine like 100 rupees a liter. How long you can sustain that? It's difficult.
Yes, Kankan, you raised your hand. You want to have.
Yes, sir. Sir, once again, I want to ask a question. So, is it feasible to produce the electricity in one place and distribute in all over the states? And what are the difficulties in that? Because our geographical location is something different. Because the sun rays don't come directly, I think, or the cloudy situation. So what's your view on that, sir? Is it feasible to distribute?
Distribution loss will always be there. You cannot deny that. But for solar, you cannot have small plants here and there and then supply to local grids, because for that, your grid system needs to be upgraded as well. So if you have a solar power plant of say 20 gigawatt or something, one plant is coming up at Balipara. It's pretty near to your place, I think, at least a few kilometers from your place. So there they will produce the electricity. It will send to the national grid. From there it will distribute. And this the energy that goes into the grid, actually do you know Assam is not energy deficient? We although we have got load sheddings, but we are not energy deficient. It is all because of the calculations and the losses that we make through the lines, but still I believe like production in one part will seriously solve this problem, because different places have different geographies. As you said, in Arunachal Pradesh, most of the places you cannot have a solar power plant because of the altitude, because of the inclination. But in Assam you can have a solar power plant. In Arunachal you can have a wind power plant because of the wind. So it should be complementary. You produce it there, we produce it here, and we share it.
What is do you have any plan to participate in IEX?
No, we don't have anything as of now.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It feels very good to hear your progress story. So I want to know, where do you see yourself in next 10 years, and what are the strategies will you take to expand your business?
It's a very difficult question. Like, it's a typical HR question. You are into HR or what?
Yes.
Good going. For us, like, tomorrow is difficult. Predicting something for 10 years is pretty difficult. So we always take up, like, if we are doing something today, it has to be better tomorrow, or definitely like 10 times a year after. So we take small step. We don't plan it, because you never know. Tomorrow a new technology can come and we have to shut our shops. So that's why those plannings are there. We need to adapt to all those small changes every single day. We have to make our strategies and go forward.
Thanks.
Any other? So one final question to others, excluding Kaustav. How many of you are planning to get into startup? Please raise your hand. 1. Cost 2. Okay. Yes. No other persons. Only 2 persons are getting motivated to start up? Hasna, Likha, Mukesh, Pooja, Rajat. Okay. So at least you could motivate 2 people out of
That's
well, yes.
that is
Because at
good.
my
That is good.
yes, that's good. Yes, Rajat has also raised the hand. Okay, 3 persons have raised. Yes, that's a good one. So it's a good initiative, and in future also, some of the your 2 batch or 3 batch before people have gone to summer internship at Exam Urja, and
Yes.
they were directly supervised by Kaustav. Okay, so in future also you can also have association with Kaustav, and
Absolutely.
yes, and I thank I personally thank Kaustav for agreeing me on my first WhatsApp message, and now request somebody from yes, Pooja and Mukesh, please offer the vote of thanks to Kaustav. Okay, and with that we will conclude the session.
Thank you so much, sir. I am actually motivated, but not thinking of startup. But I am very much motivated with you. Thank you so much for this, sir. And thank you so much for your precious time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Your wonderful speeches, and you motivated us, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And Sivu sir, I must confess one thing. Like, things are getting better. I believe like future is good. That is for sure. I know what I'm saying.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
And
It's really
they
nice,
will-
nice meeting you all.
Yes.
One last request, sir.
Yeah.
It's not a question but request, sir. In future, if you have any requirement, then please come to Neresh and recruit some of our
Well,
classmates.
that will take some time. At least you people will pass out, to be very frank. But you see, job market is opening up. Not have to worry about things. You have to improve few skills, and I think you will. I think this batch, at least I can say, you have got potential. That is for sure.
And particularly when there is a very deep recession, there will be peak also that high would be there.
Absolutely. You have
But
got one
this-
more semester, right? 6 months is there.
Yes,
6 more.
6 months market will revive also.
Absolutely. It is already getting. If you see the employment figures, it's going up.
Yes. So, and they will make one video on this particular session, and they will upload in the YouTube, and I'll also share the link with you. Okay.
Sure.
You can also means visit to his own YouTube channel also. Some of the videos he has also uploaded. You can search in the Kaustav Goswami in YouTube. So some of the other videos, because the time was very less, within 1 hour he has to confine the talk. So there you can find, because your own alumni, it's a really a happy and proud moment for you that yes, if my senior can achieve this position, then why not I? Okay, so you should take that one as a positive motivation for all of you, and you should move forward. Okay, just like, because it was a trend only in the IIT, IIM, or older NITs, their alumni getting into startup, is not it, Kaustav?
Yes,
But he
absolutely.
shown a new path that yes, we can also. Kaustav, I am planning that I asked to Rupan also, and Aditya I will ask, so they can also have one discussion with them.
Great.
They will because that will be really motivating for, and thanks to MS team or thanks to it's a blessing in disguise that we are in this platform. So,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Costa. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah. All the best to others. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful time, sir.
Thank you.